on YouTube? It is Dog Rage back with another video. In today's video, we're going to be going over some urban legends that I have found and I think are very interesting and very scary. And it's Halloween season, so if now's the best time to do it. So before we start, though, I will give you the textbook definition of an urban legend. So, an urban legend is a modern, untrue story or belief that spreads through society, often in a sensational or frightening way, and is passed on as if it were true but without evidence to support it. So normally these stories are frequently used to reflect cultural fears, anxieties, and moral concerns. And they're functioning as cautionary tales that are shared through informal channels like word of mouth or social media. And a lot of people don't believe them. Um, there is some urban legends that have been proven to be faked, but it is still very interesting to go over some that are kind of not talked about and some that aren't really proving to be fake, some that don't have evidence to show that they're fake. So I'm just going to be going over my favorite ones and looking into it and seeing what you guys think about it and go from there. So I hope you guys enjoy the video. My name is Dog Rage. Let's get straight into it. Okay, so to start off, we're going to go over the 27 Club urban legend. So, the 27 Club is a cultural phenomenon referring to the disproportionate number of influential musicians, artists, and actors who have died at the age of 27. Though statistical studies suggest this is a cultural narrative rather than a true anomaly, the club is not an official but a symbolic grouping that gained prominence with the consecutive deaths of several rock icons in the late 1960s and early 1970s, including Jimi Hendrix, Janis Joplin, and Jim Morrison. The term was popularized by their mothers and the media, romanticizing the tragic intersection of talent, fame, and often a lifestyle marked by addiction and mental health challenges. Okay, with this one, I don't really know how I would explain it. I do have a couple points on why it could be true and a couple points on why it couldn't be true. Um, for instance, I do think that around the age of 27, your brain fully develops around there. What do they say? 27 to 29, 27 to 30. And I feel like that's when everything kind of catches up to you because you're fully developed, your frontal cortex is fully developed. And I feel like that's an age where things really take an effect. So in your early and mid 20s, things that you put in your body, whether that was alcohol, drugs, or even just depression and anxiety and different mental health issues, can really catch up to you. I feel like 27 is the age where it starts taking a toll on your body and they start taking heavier drugs or drinking more because the effects that affected them when they were younger aren't as effective as they are now. I also feel like for some artists, life from 20 to about 27 is like living decades in a few years. But by 27, they're often reaching massive fame. They've been through burnout, betrayal, or loss, and they face pressures to keep producing hits. So I feel like it's almost like the fame compresses time and they live too fast and too hard and they just hit a wall at that point. And I feel like there was a lot of members who were part of the 27 Club, and I feel like a lot of them were on heavy drugs or alcohol use. And at that age, like I said before, the bodies start to have a built up tolerance, but they don't have immunity, obviously. So, meaning they take more to feel the same effects. And that's when they overdose, and the risk of overdose skyrockets. And it might even go back to around the age of 27. You're close to 30. You're exiting your 20s. A lot of them feel like they still need to live it up while they're young, live it up while they're in their 20s. And so a lot of them realize, like, wow, I got 3 years until I'm 30. I really need to live life now. I've made it. I'm successful. I got the money. I got the fame. I got the girls. I got the mansion. I got the cars. I got everything I need. Something's missing in my life. I need excitement and fun and joy. And they think that turning to drugs and alcohol is what's going to do that. And they push their bodies too far. And unfortunately, they do die because of it. So, those are a couple reasons why I think that might be why they're all dying at the age of 27. Nonetheless, it's a very scary urban legend, and it comes down to whether you believe it or not. So let's get on to the next urban legend. In this next one, we have the urban legend of the black-eyed children. So if you're not familiar with the black-eyed children or who they are, the black-eyed children urban legend is a modern urban legend about pale young children with entirely black eyes who mysteriously appear, often at night, to ask people for help, like getting inside a home or a car. These encounters are unsettling, and stories often involve the children being insistent and causing a sense of dread. A key element of the legend is the belief that the children have power only if a person invites them in, and that doing so can lead to negative consequences. The phenomenon gained popularity through internet stories, with the first widely cited account from a 1998 encounter with two boys in Texas. All right, so I have my cat Pepper for this story. So I think obviously it's a very interesting story and it's a very confusing story. How are kids going to have black eyes? How did this happen? Who are the kids? Are they still alive to this day? There's so many questions. You could obviously, a lot of people might think it's paranormal. It could be supernatural entities. It could be alien human hybrids. It could even be down to the question if they're demonic or not. It could be shadow entities, but even other things. A lot of times urban legends get passed down through the generations. The story telephone that you would play in like middle school. You'd say one thing, and by the time it got to the end of the line, it'd be a complete different story. And you know, maybe the kids just had really bad sleep paralysis and they had really bad bags under their eyes, and everybody just assumed they were black-eyed children. Another reason could be, I don't know, it could be an emotional, like it could be a fear response. So there are cases of people who have nervousness or stress or just being scared, and it can trigger a fear and it can give a black ring around the eye, and it could get worse due to living conditions. And a lot of cases have had that happening where people are permanently scarred with the black ring around their eye. But nonetheless, I do believe that this did happen. I do believe that there were children who people are claiming had black eyes. I just don't know if it's to the extent that people think it is. Did the kids have black pupils? Did the kids have black bags around their eyes? Was it a brother and sister? I think it was just two brothers, but it could have been a brother and a sister. It could have been two sisters, but honestly, I don't think that it's true that they were demonic or ghosts, but I do believe that it was actual children who had bags under their eyes or who were super tired. And over the years and over the generations, the story got changed and it got to the point where people were calling them the black eyed children. It's up to you though. What do you guys think? Let me know down in the comments. All right, for the next story, we have the Polybius arcade machine or the Polybius arcade. If you're unfamiliar with what the Polybius arcade machine is, it's a widely discussed urban legend about a supposed 1981 arcade game from Portland, Oregon. It's rumored to be a government experiment that induced extreme addiction, dangerous psychotic effects, and sometimes even death, affecting mainly children and young adults. Some other effects that players reported was severe side effects of memory loss, amnesia, nightmares, anxiety, nausea, painful headaches, and again, death. A lot of people think this is a military funded mind control experiment to test how people react to certain things. And a lot of people wanted to find out more about this. As the news spread of the video game, people were curious. People were like, hey, I want to see what this is. And so people were flocking all over to Portland, Oregon, trying to play this game and figure out what it could be. But before people could get to the game, it randomly disappeared. The game and any evidence of it were supposedly wiped from history, with the legend of the Men in Black collecting data on the players and then removing the machine. So the Men in Black is a whole other urban legend that I could say, but that does lead people to believe that it could have been a government mind control test. There is real world influences behind this, such as the risk of seizures from flashing arcade lights and existence of strange abstract vector games from the early 1980s. And even the fear of the unknown. The 1980s was a time of growth and distrust in government, making the idea of secret mind control experience seeming plausible. I don't know about this one, guys. I was not around for that time to be able to experience it, but if anyone's experienced it, please let me know down in the comments and let me know if you believe in this story or not. So those were three urban legends that I have found and I wanted to go over and discuss with you guys and hopefully get some answers to. Let me know what you guys think, if you believe in the urban legends, if there's other urban legends that you do believe are real with solid evidence, or if there's just an urban legend that you want me to try to explain, I can totally do that. If you guys did enjoy this video and you want to see other videos like this, please consider subscribing and leaving a like and going to my other videos to see similar videos. If you guys like more videos like this, I can totally start doing this. I think urban legends are a very fascinating topic, and I would love to go over more of these, and I'd love to look into it. Just let me know. Apart from that, guys, I think I'm going to end the video off here. I hope you guys are having a great day, a great night, whatever it is. I hope you're having a great one, and I will catch you guys in the next video. Peace.